let me take you through some of our findings. First, the performance audit was commissioned by the Pima County Board of Supervisors, and what we were charged with from Mr. Huckleberry was to assure the appropriate use of public funds to maximize tourism development opportunities and positive performance impacts on behalf of Pima County and its residents. Our objective was to provide a performance-based plan that charts an optimistic win-win future course for the CVB, its government and business partners, and the tourism industry that it serves. Here were some of our key observations. The two independent government audits commissioned of the MTCVB present government relation challenges to progress. As we looked at it, it was a rare occurrence where two audits were called for at basically the same time. And what that was evident of is that there was serious government relation challenges, and we were tasked with trying to help resolve that quickly and deal with those issues. Perception among government and other principal stakeholders that the MTCVB views itself as an independent agency with an apparent sense of entitlement rather than as a participant with government in a public-private partnership. We realized that it appeared to be more of an autonomous organization, that there was a we-they viewpoint at odds with the reality that CVBs are an integral part of the community and the public-private partnership, and that government at all levels has a recognized ongoing fiduciary responsibility to ensure the CVB programs are funded and supported with public dollars or operating with appropriate and maximum efficiency. And to that end, accountability and transparency is paramount. The MTCVB staff is generally dedicated and skilled, and they're all positive attributes for the CVB and the community that they serve. When you meet the individuals, and I know you have, they display a high sense of morale, they're long tenured, and they're professionally credited in their scopes of work, and that is necessary for the success of this organization and the community. Last year, the MTCV booked about $170 million in visitor spending for the community. Not a small sum. And it's our hope with the recommendations in here that we'll be able to make that amount even larger in the future. The MTCVB does not consistently provide transparency and accountability to the stakeholders and the community. That's one of our main findings here, that information needs to be shared and they need to be transparent in all that is going on with decisions being made and plans for the future.
Mr. Johnson, can you give us some examples of that kind of stuff without having to go too long in it, but if you could, just so the public understands what that means?
Transparency could mean as they're going through.
No, not what transparency means. What kind of instances of not providing transparency and not providing accountability to stakeholders there were?
Probably the ones that stand out the most are what are their goals, their performance measures that they are trying to achieve, what successes have they had in achieving those goals, what impediments are they facing in achieving those goals, and what is their plan of action to get those results. Those would be examples. The MTCVB appears to have an independent arm's length relationship and attitude in dealing with government. And to that end, we believe that this partnership with officials needs to take place. With that, there'll be greater performance results, and it's just a point of all working together towards the same end for the benefit of this community. The MTCVB Board of Directors is not fully engaged, energized, or proactive. And I know in my own organization, you're only as good as your team. And a team needs to have that energy and the support and the vision. I can tell you that was very apparent to me as we worked through this process, that I had an extremely engaged team. Sometimes they were too engaged, but it was also very helpful that all viewpoints were out there and shared. The MTCVB sales and marketing plans are well developed. However, their annual report, marketing plan, and development, brand development programs are lacking. Special events and sports marketing, participating opportunities for partners are well produced and very well appreciated. However, there does appear to be some liabilities with the annual report, the marketing plan, and the brand development, as well as the current leisure marketing program.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Go right ahead.
If you could expand, as you did for Mr. Elias in a past comment, can you talk about the branding, the marketing plan, the programs that are lacking? I mean, I'm sure that we'll have time for questions, and I apologize for interrupting, but
No problem.
it seems like a very important part of your
Brand,
observations.
I think, for Tucson and the community is essential. And, you know, one of the impediments that we believe is affecting the brand is that we do not have a regionalized approach. It seems to be more fragmented and departmentalized. The MTCVB is that regional piece, but yet we need to try to work with some of the other entities to get that to work, and that would mean the city, Pima County, Marana, Oro Valley, where we're all working together. And we believe that the MTCVB is and should be that tourism advocate to get us all moving in the right direction. As they succeed, we succeed. That would be an example of the brand.
Thank you.
There's a perceived stakeholder and partner concerned with the MTCVB that should be thoroughly validated by a third-party independent survey. And what I equate that to in my own business is we all have a report card. My report card is my customers and my employees. Every year a survey is done to assess what our strengths and what our needs are. And from those we review and try to put plans of actions to correct. There is no perfect organization out there these days, and these are all helpful tools to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our stakeholders. Need for senior MTCVB leadership advocacy with board support to follow directional guidance of the regional strategic plan. And some of the items that fall under that regional strategic plan are new funding requirements to produce a more competitive destination marketing program. I will share with you very soon some of the facts as you see our funding as we compare ourselves to our competitor set and to how our funding has changed since '07. And I've got to tell you that you can only do so much, and money has been taken away from the MTCVB, and to do what we need to do in a regional approach, I do believe that they need full funding. A plan to bring back Tucson's meeting and convention industries through revitalization of the convention center. They need something to sell down there, and they need something to sell that I think is representative of what our community is. And a galvanizing interest in a new tourism master plan for downtown revitalization. And again, this goes to the whole concept of regionalized approach.